think the best way to describe my own music is, I guess, Americana. It's the big kind of umbrella term. But within that, my influences range from like alternative rock, country, old time, folk, blues. So, and all of those things are part of the American music family. You know, growing up, there was a lot of in-betweenness in the beginning of my life to start. There was, you know, we were one of the few black families in a white suburban city, or white suburban area, and although to this day I still feel like human beings are first and foremost, I like to treat each person as their own person, and the fact that there were instances in my life where I feel like I wasn't getting that same respect back, and it would come from, you know, black and white people, you know, me either talking or acting white according to my extended family, or still being seen as, well, regardless of how you talk and where you grow up, you're still black. So, you know, it was a lot of that, a lot of confusion. Then there was the whole thing with, you know, my sexuality and figuring that out. So I just had a lot of outside sort of resistance. But I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life, and the reason why I think about this stuff so much, is because it's the foundation of everything that I do in the world. You know, what is finding my sense of self and my identity, and like being who I am as opposed to who I think other people want me to be. You know, I think these are all things that, you know, I think about a lot. In a way, there's been an entire generations of, you know, black people that ended up being totally disconnected from that aspect of our collective American music heritage because of segregation, you know, because of, you know, record executives went on when they were out scouting and doing different recording sessions and having people come out and audition, and they saw that there was money in selling these songs. They carried on this idea of, oh, well, you know, we're going to, you know, continue to segregate radio. So, you know, if you were a black person and you played banjo or you played in a string band, if you showed up, they would tell you, well, you need to play the blues, you need to play something else, but you know, because hillbilly music became synonymous with white music. I mean, they literally shaped the culture of how people would see these different genres of music. And you know, once I learned that aspect of it, I was like, wow. So like, I almost miss an entire other world of music because a few people decided what people were gonna listen to, you know, and who's gonna listen to what. But yeah, all of that stuff was, you know, incredibly important, and it really kind of instilled in me that, like, you know, I'm on the right path. You know, I'm on the right path to, you know, to doing something that's, you know, meaningful and something that is going to be fulfilling, you know, for me. And, you know, my dad was really great with all of it because he loves music. I mean, every day in my house growing up, there'd be something playing on the speakers, and he had like 3-way speakers and like record player, CD player, tape player. Like, he would make mixtapes. Like, he's always been super into that. So all of this stuff was really new to him too. And, you know, the minute I said, okay, I'm going to change my major to bluegrass, old time, and country music, he retired early. And at this point, he'd been, I think maybe 3 or 4 years, you know, sober, recovering from drug addiction. And so I got my dad back, which was like something I wasn't sure I was ever going to get, because you just never know with stuff like that. So I got my dad back, and then when he said, you know, and I think in a way too, it was his way of being like, you know, there was a time in my life that I messed up. I made some bad decisions because of my own despair, and it affected my family negatively. And now that I'm clear-headed, now I can like continue being a dad and continue being there for my daughter and being supportive, and knowing that during that time period I was incredibly shy. I'm introverted anyway, but I was also really shy on top of that. And so he knew that I was going to need support if I'm going and playing shows on my own and stuff. So yeah, it really, honestly, in a lot of ways, it really brought me and my dad even closer together. This whole music experience. So that's the big thing that connects us, is music. So anyway, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing, So this song I'm going to play is called Firewater, and it's kind of an unofficial third part of a saga that I inadvertently wrote. Didn't realize it at the time, but the two other songs that are part of this three-parter are Hangover Blues, which is the beginning of my party phase, and then Tender Organs is the second part where I was like, this isn't fun anymore. and then this song is about like looking back on the other side, from the other side of it. So this is the third part. So melancholy always seemed to work for me, wistful and uncertain of my dreams. Stardust forms into shapes that never leave, strange and wary they all seem. I'm a ghost in the hall, I ain't in the room. Everywhere I go, impending doom. How many spirits does it take to lift a spirit? I don't know, I don't know. 'Cause I got every spirit and I'm still laying here crying on the floor, on the floor. So can you just leave me be? Being drenched in fire and water won't save me. I'll forsake the path of filth and fleas. Can you just leave me be? Pits of stairs are the only crowns I've ever gleaned. So in the dark I find the answers that I need. City lights are the only stars I ever see. How many nights until I finally can breathe? How many spirits does it take to lift a spirit? I don't know, I don't know. 'Cause I got every spirit and I'm still laying here crying on the floor, on the floor. So can you just leave me be? Being drenched in fire and water won't save me. I'll forsake the path of filth and fleas. Can you just leave? Can you just leave?